Astrology family. My name is Ashley and I am the Astrology Indigo. On this channel, I combine Reiki and the astrology for the week. So I thought we could do a little bit of some cleansing with some sage to clear the energy. I've got a grid here and I've got my cleansing Florida water. Before we start, we'll do that. Okay, so I am going to go over the astrology for this week. I have some Sedona Moki marbles here, so thought I'd clear some energy with those too. Anyhow, we're going to go over the astrology for this week for February 19th through February the 25th, 2024. So today, Monday through Sunday. And so in the astrology this week, we have, those are cows. I live near a cow field. Anyhow, in the astrology, so today we have the moon in Cancer. Yesterday the sun ingressed into Pisces and there was a trine. So there's been some like lazy and easy flowing energy, like maybe some time spent with family, just passing the day, or it could have been a rainy day like here and maybe you just stayed inside and enjoyed your home and doing things that just made you feel like you could disassociate for a while. Okay, so that was yesterday. So in today, that energy kind of followed into today. With that being said, the moon made a trine to Saturn in Pisces. And so there was like this energy of what are your obligations? What are the things that you need to get done today? There still could have been a little bit of some lazy energy with that. Like, oh, I got to do this, but I'll do it, in my own time. I'll get these things done. And so, but then there's also like the moon making a square to Chiron and the North Node today. And that energy is about, okay, like, well, where is it that I have to put in forward movement or forward action for the things that I want to do for me? There might be like a form of like, oh, where was I wounded in childhood? Because the moon is like your home, your roots, and it's in Cancer. So it's like intuition, and Chiron makes the hard angle, and we have Chiron is the wounded healer, and we have the North Node there. So the North Node conjuncting Chiron today. And so really the moon squares the North Node and Chiron into tomorrow morning, and the North Node and Chiron are coming into a conjunction today. So it's like, where are we taking baby steps for ourselves to have some kind of forward movement that has to do with maybe healing childhood wounds, maybe going back into when our roots were triggered and understanding that, healing that, and then being able to move forward. Or like, where are our fears and where is it that we have to take baby steps to move forward in order to have some kind of action that makes something easier for us in the future. This afternoon, 5 p.m., we have the moon in Cancer making a sextile to Jupiter, and the sextile is a builder's angle. And so a builder's angle is when, what can we do in order to get something? And so when Jupiter's in Venus's sign and Cancer's in its home sign and they're making a builder angle to one another, it makes me think, what is it that we can do in order for us to make ourselves feel better? Like, can you do something at home? Can you cook dinner? Because Jupiter's in a sign that's like Venusian. Can you do some kind of spiritual practice or something that, in your home? Or can you, get in touch? What is it about like physical things, like lighting incense, lighting sage, clearing your home? What are the things that make you feel good? And maybe get in touch with your spiritual side that ground you and make your emotions feel satisfied. So due to the sun setting behind me, I had to improvise and get a little bit of a light going on here. Okay, so that was Monday. And so going from Monday into Tuesday, that's where we have that moon squaring the North Node. So it's like back to, where do our roots require some kind of understanding in order for us to move forward. Like, what is it that we can heal about our home, our family, our childhood? Because Aries is also a child sign, and it's about like, what can we do? Where can we remove fears maybe from then and take a step into our futures, even if it's baby steps. Like, we're still doing it. We're putting that progress into whatever house it is in, and it might affect your emotions and make you feel like you want to hide inside like a crab, but you'll get past it, and we're moving forward for that reason. Where can you take your family? Where can you, what can you do? And so then tomorrow we also have Tuesday, we also have the moon in Cancer. It's making a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. So the moon is still in Cancer. It's making that builder angle. So it's like, what is it that we can do with our home, our family, our goods, the way we make money to take us progressively into the future? Are we looking for a home for our family? Are we going to change the things that we use to clean our homes with? Are we taking steps to heal things in the body that also has to do with like the spiritual side of ourselves? It's birds. What is it that, where is it like the moon, our emotions can ground something or bring something that's, it's Uranus and Taurus, so it's electrical again, but then it's Taurus. So it's like, where can we change something in the future for ourselves that would take us progressively in the future, whether it has to do with home, family, goods, money, and the things that we could do. Like, there's a builder's angle. So then we have Wednesday, the moon in Cancer trine Neptune. That's at 1:37 a.m. And so a lot of us here in the United States, we will be sleeping. So it makes me think that, upon going to bed that night, whether you spontaneously decided to change the way you do things in your house, whether it has to do with because Uranus also rules Aquarius, right? So it's like, what are we doing? What are we changing to liberate ourselves from something, an old way, an old habit? And then it trines Neptune, which is like a nostalgic energy. It's rose-colored glasses. The moon and Neptune are in a trine. They're in an angle that's supportive. It's easy. It's sensitive. It's spiritual. So maybe throughout the night we have vivid dreams. Maybe it has to do with things that take us back to where our karma was. Because then, again, going back to the North Node, it's about where is our karma and where can we go forward in the future. On Wednesday, we have the moon going into Leo at 8 a.m. and it immediately makes an opposition to Pluto, which is in Aquarius now. Okay, so when the moon is about our children and about our creative projects and our pride and what we do, like what we feel good about, feel good because it's still the moon, and it's like our emotions and our desires to do something versus our expression. Like, it's self-expression. I put some notes down here. It's like self-expression versus power dynamics and how that makes us feel, and also courage versus the fear to act or the fear to do something. So on Wednesday, like, where is it that our emotions have a desire to complete something or to do something, and we feel some kind of fear? And the thing is, Pluto's there to transform that, so it'll transform those emotions by the time it moves past it. And then it's also going to go past Venus and Mars, which are also in Aquarius, right? So it's going to oppose those energies, and going into Thursday, it's going to oppose those energies, and it's eventually going to make a square to Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus. So throughout the week, it's like, well, okay, so it's like, where is it that our okay, so the moon, our emotions, Uranus and Taurus, Jupiter and Taurus, and all this Aquarian energy, it could be like, where is the tension lie between what it is that we need to accomplish, get done, liberate ourselves with, our money, our goods, our money, our goods, and our love, and how is it that we can separate ourselves from something, because there's a pressure angle, and it's about going forward, letting go of something we fear. Maybe something spontaneous comes up that we don't expect that has to do with money. Don't go out and spontaneously buy something you don't need that would maybe fulfill you in an emotional way, because Jupiter can be, it's ruled by, you know, it could be like, this is birth. It could be like, the energy could be like, so anyhow, it could be like me trying to put this video together right now and having this disruption right here. And so that's what the energy is like. It's like some kind of disruption that you didn't expect, and having to improv or make do with what you have, because now Mars and Venus are in the sign of Aquarius, and they're about where our passions lie and what we're doing with what we have, and how can we liberate ourselves, or what can we do in order to do something. And it's in a humanitarian sign, so there could be things that come up about humanitarian things. And the thing about Venus in Aquarius and Mars in Aquarius is that they're not very aggressive necessarily in nature. They're a humanitarian side, so they're about the greater good of humanity. So it's like, what is it that you could do to do something differently for the greater good of humanity? It's not about really, it's like, where can we make peace? If there's some kind of disruption where your money's held up from friends or in other things that you just didn't expect to have to spend money on, you know, it's about those spontaneous things, and like still rolling with it, still having an understanding, and still moving forward with that energy. And so the moon will go, let's see what else I have written down here. So we have Mars and Venus coming into a conjunction. They're also very passionate. It could be about, you know, exploring new things with a partner and having fun with it. Maybe things that are outside the box. Maybe you go and have a spontaneous trip. Maybe you stumble across a very Aquarian person and you get into a passionate debate about we're something eccentric or what we're doing. And so we have some of that going on. We do have the moon trining the North Node on Thursday as well. So it could just be that we're very busy and getting something accomplished. The North Node, again, it's about where our emotions are. Even though we have this thing going on, we still know emotionally and courageously where we're going to go in the future, and that there's still progress for those things. And it's a lot of Aquarian placements this week, so it's about making progress for the future that's going to take us into a direction that's progressive and that better serves us. And so we go into Friday. We have on Friday, Mercury enters Pisces and the moon enters Virgo, and it opposes Mercury. And so Mercury in Pisces is, okay, so Mercury is really quick. It's really analytical. It gets things done, accomplished, fast moving, electrical in the sign of Aquarius. And it can be about like debates or discussions that are Aquarian in nature. With that being said, when it moves into Pisces, it slows down and it becomes dreamy and aloof, and it doesn't necessarily know what's going on. It's more dreamy. It's a dreamy Mercury, and it can be artistic. Like I can see these Mercury signs being artistic or even intuitive, and their intuition's just a little bit different. We have the sun in Pisces as well, and it is Pisces season, so Mercury in Pisces can also be compassionate, right? And so when the moon enters Virgo, the moon is about, in Virgo, I have a moon in Virgo, it's about how can I satisfy myself by accomplishing things, right? So when Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, it goes into a Mercury sign and opposes the moon, it's like, okay, well, there needs to be some kind of plan, but I don't know necessarily what the plan is. So I don't know necessarily what I need to do now, but I know there needs to be a plan. Maybe there's a desire to get things accomplished versus a desire to relax and enjoy a movie. enjoy a drink. It's Friday night. Enjoy having fun, but then there's still things that you need to accomplish, maybe even before some of the energy that comes next week. And so that's Saturday, it's Friday. So into Saturday, we have at 7:30 a.m. the sun and the moon are in opposition. Oh yes, it's the full moon. So the sun is in Pisces and the moon is in Virgo, and they are opposing one another. The new moon marks a time of letting go of, well, we're building up to something from the new moon up into the waxing phase of the full moon. We're building up to something. We've been putting in the work for something. We've been putting in our due diligence. We've been, you know, the sun in Pisces is also about like dreaminess and but where can we take our dreams? Where can we structurize our dreams and put them into some kind of forward progress for the future? And so we have that full moon happening, and it's about like, what can we let go of now, because we're going into the waning phase. So we've accomplished something, we feel good about ourselves, even though there may be a little bit of confusion about where we are going, we still accomplished something, and now we're, you know, letting something go. So as we move into that next move phase, but we'll go over that in the next video. Okay, so then we have the moon opposite Saturn, and that's about also structurizing. Like the moon is about in Virgo. Here we have these plans. What can we do with those plans? How can we where can we stabilize our emotions based on what it is that we're trying to do or accomplish, and structurize? Where are we trying to find more order in our lives to fulfill ourselves emotionally? Mercury, the moon is still being ruled by Mercury, which is in Pisces, so there's still maybe a little confusion, but we're figuring it out, and the moon is stabilizing that energy so that you can figure it out and balance out your emotions and move forward. And so, and Saturn like says, stop, take a second, look at what you have around you, look at what you've accomplished, take a second to appreciate that, and then move forward from there. And so then after that, we have the moon making a trine to Jupiter in Taurus. So that's like, okay, well, maybe this is what we have, and let's be optimistic about what we can do with it. So what do we have for property? What do we have for money? What is it that we have tangible right now, and what can we do with that to go forward in the future and what we're doing even day to day, the one week to the next week. We have in around 11 p.m. Saturday afternoon Eastern, we have Venus squares Jupiter in Taurus. And when Venus squares Jupiter in Taurus, it's about, again, that same thing that I just described as like, okay, because Venus is about where is it that we need to balance our money, but it's because that's a Venus thing. Balance our money, balance our love, balance what we're doing, and what is it where we can be optimistic about, because Jupiter is in Taurus, which is Venus's sign, to move ourselves into a direction that's going to better serve us monetarily and for whatever goals there are that we have to move forward in Aquarian energy, Aquarian future. So we have Sunday the 25th, the moon in Virgo trines Uranus in Taurus. So then it's like, where does that, we're moving forward, we're getting that optimism, we're getting that brilliant insight that comes through that helps us figure out how to balance those emotions, what to do with what we have, how can I balance this, where can I take it, what can I do right now with what I have, and how can I balance myself emotionally in order to satisfy those things. So that's our weekly astrology. That is February 19th through February 25th. And into next week, we have the moon in Libra trining Pluto in Aquarius. And that's about where our emotions can transform, whether it's transforming relationships or, you know, getting to that nitty-gritty energy. But we'll move into that energy discussing that as we move forward with our forecast next week. Thank you. My name is Ashley. I am the Astrology Indigo, and I am going to stop this video in order to continue on with the video for Reiki.